Hello, welcome to Down with Dragons here on Monsters of Roll on Twitch. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We were scrambling and trying to get this all working, but we made it. We're here. I'm DM Scott. With me as always, where they are, there.
Here we are. Catherine playing Juniper Swift.
And Mick playing Callan.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope we all have made it through another week. We are down 2 players. Chris is still out with family stuff, and Killian is also out with some personal time that she's taking. And so us 3 are just going to soldier on. There is absolutely no threat that they have to worry about. It's fine. It'll be just fine. We'll take it easy tonight with both technical difficulties and all that. I'm not gonna test my karma right now because apparently things are going against me, and I don't think the dice are gonna be in my favor. But before we dive in too deep, let's get announcements out of the way. And we've got a guest correspondent out in the field. Mick, can you hear me?
Is it working? Am I live?
Mick, we can hear you.
Scott?
We can hear you, Mick.
Hey, yeah, it's about time you give this Cub reporter an opportunity to shine, given that big shot ace superstar Killian hoarding all the fame on the screen here. It's about time. It's me. It's Mick from the field reporting live. Whoa. This place. Have you seen this place, guys? There's like stuff going on in the sky. Like Killian does this every time? What? Are you serious?
It's all right, Mick. Calm down.
Yeah. I got it. Announcements, right. So if you love Down with Dragons like we do, and you love Dungeons and Dragons like we do, make sure to check out our sister podcast, Dungeon Patrol. They stream their podcast every Sunday. I'm pretty sure that's the date. Go check them out. They're fun. They're entertaining. I'm a big fan. Whoa, geez. Oh, look out, everybody. It's like strange creatures out here. Really? Killian does this all the time? Oh, God. Oh, no. And if you like the Down with Dragons logo, look at that thing. It's awesome, right? Right? Catherine has the logo on the water bottle there. Scott's got the logo on his hat. They got the logo in the background. I got the face of this guy in the background. You can get this printed on just about anything you like over at Redbubble by going to our shop, monstersofroll.com/shop, and you'll find everything you're looking for, including, as Killian likes to bring up, bedding that allows you to technically sleep with us. If that's your thing, go for it. There's like sand everywhere. It's getting in everything right here. And thanks guys, but let's get Killian back out here. I don't like it out here. All right. So did I miss anything? Was that good? Yeah. That a good take? Oh, we're live. Oh, okay. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you. Appreciate you. Stay safe out there. And also a reminder, anyone, you can reach us on any of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Discord. Just reach out, find us, Monsters of Roll, or on Down with Dragons. Either one of those, you'll find us eventually if you look hard enough and roll a high enough investigation. So last time, now that we've got the announcements out, great job, Mick, once again. Yeah, I know who I'm calling on whenever Killian can't. All right. So last time on Down with Dragons, our crew was stuck in an attic. Monsters outside sniffing around, looking for a nice little snack for the early evening, and quickly finding out that it wasn't just the danger outside, but also Viet was kind of just a skosh freaking out. And so a few other voices started to come out of him, personas, names some of you have heard before, and then one predominantly Quincy, and around that time, also with all the kind of ruckus of all of you talking and the personalities really not paying attention to the environment you're in, started to make a little bit too much noise, and some of those giant creatures started to sniff around the area, which led to an attack, or taking advantage of the situation and attacking them and trying to escape, which didn't go 100% to plan, but it did go to a chaotic plan, which brought down the foul beast, which unfortunately was loud enough to alert other creatures, which proceeded into running from the town and trying to get away, which unfortunately didn't go 100%. And in a moment of desperation, as these monsters are closing in, and numbers you didn't 100% know, but more than a baker's, about a baker's dozen almost in total number, almost of different sizes of creatures were closing in on you. Viet, or Quincy right now, managed to use that blue hand he has and
Poof.
take you away from a dangerous place to somewhere 100% safe. You awoke, or not awoke, you all of a sudden were in a desert. And through very high perception checks, realized there was sand, and a lot of it in every direction. But night was coming on. So as the group has taken in this new environment, Maven, who is not thrilled, she's used to, woods and jungles and things of plant life and things of that nature. This place is almost literally the exact opposite of everything she's all about. And so whether it be through a little bit of disconnection from her, like a strain of connection through her magic, or things that are going on, she very quickly, as things are heating up and everyone is kind of taking in that, like, what is, like, where are we? And everyone's trying to figure out, she's like, I'll be around. And then turns into a giant vulture and then just takes off into the sky. Or not a giant, a normal sized vulture, but vultures are big anyway, but a vulture, and just takes off into the sky. And you can just see her circling, and Murdet will kind of be watching, and he's like, I mean, I know it's Maven, but it just doesn't feel like a good omen. So you all start to kind of, as the evening is coming on, you've had a hard day to start with anyway, with where you were. You start to kind of set up a camp. So first off, what type of camp are you looking to make? Because I will tell you, resource wise, you have whatever you have on you. Also, you do have sand. You have sand. And if you look hard enough, there might be some rock, but plenty of sand. Right now, plenty of sand. It is the best beach.
Any vegetation?
Ironic. Going into that roll you just made at the end, sand.
Sand.
With where you're currently at, sand. it is like if you've ever just gone to the beach and just hated the water part, this is the place for you.
What's a beach? Who knows?
Yeah, what? Right.
We don't know
Also,
what that is.
no, never mind. Not the also part, because that part doesn't change for you, so you're fine there.
Okay.
So
Um,
it is currently Merdit and Juniper and Callan and Quincy. The end.
Right.
Does anybody know how to make a fire out of a book? I'm gonna pull out a book out of my pack. This is the only thing that I've got to burn, but boy, is it worth burning.
Oh,
Quincy will
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. Most books aren't worth burning. I mean, there are only some
Oh,
good things, but I
Oh,
mean,
this one.
that- maybe
It's
kindling, if
definitely-
we had actual fuel for burning, that'd be great kindling.
This fuel for burning. Just burn it.
well,
Please.
Callan he's curious. He needs to look at that. What? It's a book that
She'll
just
hand it
needs
over.
burning? What?
Listen, we were trapped in Dragonlock for I don't even know how long. And that was the only book we had to read. I never want to see it again.
Callan
Merdit
slip
just kind of
into
like,
it.
I'm curious, and he kind of comes over your shoulder, Callan, as you're like, what is this?
Hmm. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to
Okay,
page
okay.
52. Yeah.
By what like what book is it there, Callan? Because I've sent you what the book is.
I think I've heard of this author before.
Roll me a history check. With advantage, because I feel like, I'll be honest, and tell me if I'm wrong, Callan might have actually heard of this author.
Okay. Yeah.
Just with some of the circles you've been in,
Uh-huh.
it's like, this feels
Both of those rolls were 5, so a 9.
you can say it, but it's nothing like this. Seems like probably like maybe minor publication of like someone who paid to have like 100 books made or something, something minor.
Ooh, this is smut. It's not even good smut.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so interesting because I want to see how depraved it gets, but oh,
Yeah.
okay. And this is all you had to read, and you
Murder-
actually read it.
Look, we were trapped in there for a while.
Murder's
Not
like, you were
proud.
with children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't let them have it.
And then, how exactly did they react to this part?
I didn't read it to them.
What? Oh, I should hope not.
So what is the book there, Juniper, seeing is that you have it in your inventory? Would you read out what the title of this book is?
I
This is-
never want to see The Adventures of Swanky Dangle's Secret of the Amazonian Whispering Eye again. Here is my tinderbox, please.
Okay, starting a fire.
Starting to find.
Starting a fire with some smut. Doo-da, doo-da. Starting a fire with some smut. Oh, da doo-da day.
Yeah. Murder's just gonna like look around and be like,
Mhm.
I don't know where to get he just kind of just looking in general, like there's nothing else to burn. Like
Mm.
we could
Yeah. I
Mm.
have a torch.
Yeah.
I could use that to burn, probably.
Yeah, if Maven was still down here and she was doing her little tree trick like back in Cyprus, maybe we could get some wood then.
Tree trick.
Yeah, when she basically turned into a tree.
Oh, you want her to use her body to fuel the fire?
somehow that would be more wholesome than having anything to do with this book.
Yeah, it would. Gosh, just sand.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah,
gonna
right
have to be
now,
a
I mean,
really
with where you're
small
currently at,
fire.
it's just sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got tinder box stuff, but
Yeah.
You just don't
no,
have the main fuel.
right.
No.
Hmm.
Well, uh, there's no, like literally no vegetation.
Yeah, right now it's sand dunes.
Listen, Juniper's survival is better than Catherine's survival. Is there anything that she might think of that I am not thinking of that might help us in this situation?
Roll me a survival check.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's go like this, because why did I not bring my dice?
Let me roll for.
Please roll for me. Yeah, I'm not.
No, I was gonna say I'll roll because Quincy is also
Oh,
survival.
got it. Okay.
Hearing all of
here
this.
we go. So I got a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16.
Yeah.
So looking around, scavenging around, like you're not finding much
Oh man.
of anything. And it's like there's a certain amount of frustration and like, what are we supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
And as you're looking around, Quincy is going to be like, he's like, well, I normally wouldn't recommend this, but limited options, and the sun's going down, and I feel like it's probably going to get pretty cold at night. And I'm going to roll an Arcana check for him because this is doing something to a spell that it's not meant to do. Oh, that's a natural 19 plus his Arcana, so it's a dirty 20. That's enough. So he is going. All right. He is basically going to take out his dynamic rod, and he's going to, it's just going to extend into a long pole, like a quarterstaff made of like metal, just like it's a rod about this big, and all of a sudden it just twists and slides into this long pole. And all of a sudden the entire pole ignites into fire, and he slams it on the ground, and a little crater, just 3 feet across max, all of that sand turns into glass and starts to just glow, to start off with brightly, but over the course of like the next hour it's going to cool and things like that. And so he's using a cantrip in a way it wasn't designed for, but he can continue to like heat the glass so you at least have some warmth there.
Okay, well, that was a neat trick. Throw the book on there.
He just like, at this point, I mean, we could almost save it for rekindling. I mean, I understand you.
No, I don't. I mean,
life or death. What you have is what you got. And
Hey, did you know this was a signed copy?
lovely.
The first editions are always worth a little bit more.
You know what, Helen? You can keep that.
It really looks like a pen name, because whose name is Drake Justice?
Drake Justice, really?
I mean, I've heard weirder.
I've heard of the Adventures of Swanky Dangles, but Drake Justice.
You know what, Kellen? That book is my gift to you.
Oh, thank you.
Can have it forever.
I will treasure it
always.
Until we need it for kindling.
Until I don't.
So yeah, like we've got equivalent of at least fire. I mean, or at least warmth. Yeah. So you're not going to freeze for the night. He'll just have to use a cantrip every now and then. Yeah. It was successful, so we'll just keep recharging that fire every now and then.
I am going to take my bedroll and make a sleeping
Yeah.
place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Maven's taking first watch.
And just looking around, Murdet also is looking up. He's like, I assume she is. I can't really and like right now, actually, like she must have moved off a little bit, and she's probably around.
Probably.
I'll take
yeah.
first watch either way. I'm not overly tired. It's a lot, and I'm still kind of worried about getting back, and I'm guessing we're not going to be back for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Well,
nowhere.
whoever's up, not next to the fire, I'll pull out the this just heavy black furred cloak, basically the black furred mantle of Electa Valdon that I stole from the Church of the Dragons.
Yeah.
And have them take it for warmth.
It's
It's really fancy and like just slick black and silver and shiny and just majestic.
And he's kind of like, thanks. Yeah, he kind of just wraps up a little bit, and already as the sun is going down, you can feel the temperature is dipping.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
gonna take that half plate off, so I'm not, obviously you can't sleep in it, but it would also be cold. So
yeah. All right, so taking watches. So Murder's got first, and what we're gonna do is just for in general, so we don't have to explain everything. For convenience for the DM, you have advantage on your perception checks for the evening because Maven is in animal form and around.
Okay.
So Murder's going first. That's a 23. He has high perception. So first watch goes. Who's second?
Callan will take second.
He'll wake you up, tell you sand. There's a lot of sand, nothing else. I have a feeling there is probably nothing else living for quite a ways. And he'll hand off the tapestry or the blanket and go sit by the glass that's cooling.
Okay. Yeah, so Callan hops up to take watch. He's at first he grabs the book and then is like, no, and leaves it behind with Murdet.
Not that desperate yet.
And then takes off, and it probably only takes a few minutes for him to get bored and make some targets using mold earth and then blast them with Eldritch Blast, where he's, a little out of sound range, not to wake anybody up, but
yeah. All right. So roll me a perception check with advantage.
all right. So that's a 13.
13. Okay. Night goes on pretty peacefully. You every now and then, make a sand snowman and just make them in different shapes and just hands and head and
I'm getting better at shooting and my artistry, making little statues of people that I want to take down.
Yeah, like eventually you make a fairly convincing the way you saw him in a human form of Electra Valdon and just looking all prim and proper and just like
Oh yeah. You're going down, sucker.
And Juniper, eventually you are woken up to a slightly sand-covered Callan. Seems like he's a good mood though. He might have had a lethargic experience.
Was there a sandstorm?
What?
Was there a sandstorm? He's covered in sand.
I am the sandstorm.
God.
Yes, you are.
She's just gonna there's not much out here to do, so she's just gonna watch.
Yeah.
Just not
All right. Roll perception with
19.
advantage. Oh, nice. All right. Not too much. No animals. No nothing. And then you wake up, Viet.
Carefully.
Yeah, and you've seen Viet is a little jumpy in the
Yeah.
past. And as you kind of very carefully kind of doing that distance touch where like, all right, I'm out of swinging range.
It's
you know?
more like a distance she would calmly and quietly but firmly say, like, yeah, Quincy, who am I talking to? Yeah, like she's just gonna try and wake him up with vocal rather than touching, because she knows
Yeah.
he's a little jumpy.
Yeah. And you'll just hear which woman?
Which woman?
Which woman?
Yeah, that's what I just asked you.
Not yet. You just need a little bit more time. This a whole lot more. You just be quiet there and go back to sleep there, baby. Hi, my turn for watch.
Did you just call me baby? Because not okay with that.
No. Talking to Viet. No, I mean I can call you baby, but I feel that's not appropriate. We don't know
not
each
okay
other
with
that
it.
well. Fair.
Is Fiat okay?
Oh yeah, sleeping like a baby.
This is weird.
What's weird about it?
Usually there's one person inside of a head.
Right, there is one person inside this head. There's a whole lot of pieces of a person as well. I'm just looking after the important one. How about that?
How does that even happen?
Oh, a lot of trauma. I mean, that'd probably be a piece of it. Do a job, it goes bad, your entire family dies slowly over 10 years, being imprisoned and psychologically and physically tortured, and then you get out and you're not sure if you're actually in reality or not, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm here basically keeping a tab on all the bad things, and I'm keeping that away from Viet because he's not ready to deal with that. But you look tired, you should get some sleep.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Oh no. Holy sand.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is.
Right. And he kind of looks at the hand. He's like, sorry about that. It wasn't aiming for the middle of nowhere, but I definitely was literally just trying to do something to save our lives.
You did the best any of us could have in that situation. I'm
Sure.
not complaining. Thank you.
I appreciate being let off the hook. Remember that when we're all dying of thirst and hunger.
That will be all right.
Right. Get some sleep. I'll keep watch. Or
yeah.
we'll keep watch. How about that? Eh? And he'll kind of just walk off a little bit with just a little bit, like you haven't seen Viet move with like a normal person's almost like careless, like gait to their walk. He doesn't seem that troubled.
Okay.
So let me roll for Viet / Quincy. His perception is really good. Dirty 20.
Ooh.
So eventually, you all kind of get your long rests and wake up to the sun's just coming up. So take long rests, heal up, get those spell slots back. It's a brand new day.
Yay.
And as y'all awake, you'll actually start to smell something like it smells delicious. It smells divine. And there is a pot literally sitting, like a little like just cooking pot sitting on the broken glass, and it smells really good. And Quincy is standing next to it, just kind of, all right, probably a little bit of that. Put a little of that in. Yes, perfect.
I'd like to ask, What?
What?
How?
How
How
what?
is this? H-
How who?
How is this possible? How did you make food?
Oh, well, I really didn't make food. I'm just trying to take dried food and make it a little bit more of something worth having.
No.
And he kind of holds up his water skin. And I kind of used all of my personal water for the day. So,
ah,
but we have a broth with some dried rations and a little bit of, and by the way, just to let everybody know, it's got a little bit of some medicinal herbs of sorts in it, but I'm pretty sure I cut it really diluted. So really it should make you feel good, not tired or anything
hold up.
else.
What herbs specifically? Also, can you do this glass thing again?
Oh, right. Yeah, and it's like right now it looks like it's pretty fresh and the glass is red. He's like, I can do that almost all the time as long as I can keep my focus up.
Can you mold it?
Oh
You make
no, not glass
containers?
blower. Not glass blower. I can mess it up. It's really more of a hammer than it is of a spindle or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Clay
So-
wheel. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay. Well, if we can dig a hole, I guess I can kind of make food and water. Just like
Oh,
poof. It's not great, but I have a lot of herbs in my bag.
oh. So stretch it and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
right now, I mean, we have this for everybody. So how about you take care of maybe supper or something like that? Or
Yeah, I mean it's 45 pounds of food. So
holy crap. Like,
Um,
do we have to worry about that's weight, and we got I'm guessing a long way to go.
yeah. Yeah. I mean I can
Yeah.
do it. I can do it again. It's gonna spoil.
Oh, so short shelf life, as it were.
Like a day.
Well, I mean, that's a couple meals, to be honest. Like if we do it at lunchtime, that'll take us till the
Perfect.
next lunchtime, and we just bring enough for that. Like, that's great.
Yeah. 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 What does this pot smell like? Can I discern the herbs that are in it?
Make a medicine check.
Yeah. I like that. Nope. I wanna nope.
Nope.
I'm trying to there we go. Let's roll one of these dice. Oh no, that's not fair. That's not too bad actually. 15.
15. You know what?
Yeah.
This one's not too bad. Just roll me an additional nature check. Just to like you definitely can at least get a rough thing. I can give you more specific if you roll good on nature.
That was a natural 20 plus 1.
There's some hemlock in there, which is kind of a sedative. It's just the most lightest of afternote to this broth. He might be right that it's probably only gonna just mellow you out, because like most people who use this, it's like it's a hardcore sedative. Like
Yeah. Where did you get hemlock?
From Viet's bag.
Why does he have hemlock?
Oh, that's how he sleeps. He heavily medicates.
Okay.
Otherwise,
unpack that later. Yeah, that's not.
Oh no, I packed it back up already.
No, I mean that's not healthy for the long run. Like it's kind of a short term.
Oh,
thing.
obviously not. Otherwise, you and me wouldn't be having this conversation.
That is a fair point. That is a really fair point. Okay.
Interesting knowing your own existence, right?
Yeah, that's wow. I mean, you know more about your own existence than I do.
Well, I am limited and I know the finality of it. I mean, once he gets healthy, I'm gone.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, my whole existence is literally to keep him safe. So, I mean, I guess I'm okay with it for now.
Yeah, this is still weird. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a couple more herbs, spice, like whatever I've got to sort of round
Alright.
out a flavor and maybe
You're probably toning it down from the home style dwarven cooking he was trying for. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely got a little bit of like salty bite to it. Because it was obviously made from a lot of like salted jerky and stuff like that. And you tone it down a little bit. But it's still like it's a broth. You're getting some stuff out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna make anyone roll any kind of constitution check because that was the point of it. But everyone definitely does get just the slightest little bit of like just that. Yeah, that's a drug in there.
Everything's
Yeah,
gonna be
for sure.
fine.
Like not quite to that much, just enough where you just feel that very beginning of like you know, if I had another bowl, I think I'd be feeling good, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all there is. And he kind of licks the bottom of it.
I guess Kellen, can you do that compass thing? I guess, is that the direction we should be heading, or
Well, yep. We already determined from that we need to be headed, you know, roughly south east-ish.
Southwest.
South.
You're northeast of where
Right.
Dragonlock was, so southwest was the direction. But if
That's
you're
the
going
direct-
like looking towards Beacon, you're right.
Yeah.
South east. Yep,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Beacon was
Um,
what we landed on.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
not
'cause it was-
literally landed on. We landed on the desert, but we want to go to Beacon from here. And we
Desert
probably-
landed on us.
Yeah. Come-
File-
I don't really want to stick around this desert too long. So yeah, we should go that direction.
yeah, I guess. Are there any landmarks like to chart a course by, or are we gonna have
we'll
to
see. Eventually, if we don't see them already, we'll see the mountains to the south. And we'll know that we need to skirt them or
Hang on.
stay eastward of them.
Say
Yes.
that again.
This
If we
desert
don't see them
is
already.
right. We don't see them. Do we see them? I don't know.
No, you do not see any mountains anywhere.
Well, if we figured out this is indeed the desert we think it is, then I do know that they are rimmed mostly by mountains for most of the border of the desert.
Yeah. Kellen, about how far away do you think you can see right now?
See?
Mm-hmm.
I can see pretty far. I got really good vision.
Mm-hmm.
And do I see what I'm looking for?
Roll perception check.
Okay, that's an 18.
18, good. Obviously you've got the aurora borealis kind of in the blue sky above as the sun's coming up, but like you can probably, it's clear enough, like see miles, and it's just like, I mean, especially if you kind of go up towards the top of a sand dune, like it's a lot of sand, and like maybe there's the slightest hint of something on the horizon, but like it's a lot of sand. But like
probably, yeah, could be mirage from that far
yeah,
out.
I mean that's the thing. It's far enough
Yeah.
that it's like it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. I can see pretty far, I think, but I don't see mountains yet.
Kellen, how long has it
Murdoch's just gonna just like slap you in the back. He's like, dude, like you can see, like, how far can you see?
How,
Far.
how long has it been since you could see that far away?
And Meredith's
Uh,
like, there's no mist.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I just thought my vision was better than everyone else's.
What does this even
Okay.
mean?
Oh my. There's no mist in the desert. What else accompanies the mist? We shouldn't expect to see that here either.
Moisture.
Hey. Well,
Don't.
Yeah.
not wrong.
Also, ghouly spider thingies.
I'm sorry, spiders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he like what? Yeah.
Ghouly spider thingies. Oh wait, did Callan even encounter those in the mist?
No, I don't think you did.
No, he didn't.
That was Swanky
No.
Daniels.
Oh no.
Or no, Drake Justice.
Drake Justice.
Drake Justice.
Boy, that book is really calling to me. Strange.
Huh.
And I don't know. I'm just imagining there's all sorts of other stuff that comes along with the mist that isn't happening here.
Yeah, and you know what? Maven has probably told all of you, at least, because you've had downloads from each other where it's like you've heard
Right.
of, like, remember the spiders on that island?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
the spider goo was a lot like the soup we just had.
Oh, I feel sick now.
Well, no, not. I mean, it didn't taste like it. It was just, it would give you that numbing sensation.
You taste.
Oh, right.
Oh, you were there?
I mean, would that be the
Oh
venom?
no,
Do
but
we-
numbing. I get the numbing part.
Would you? Did you drink the venom? Was it venom? Did you drink the venom?
I personally wasn't there. Callan, did you drink venom?
I don't think it was venom so much as other stuff that comes out of creatures. And we didn't drink it, more as like Maven
Got on
especially
you.
just
Yeah.
kind of fell into it.
Oh,
Yeah, wax forest type look.
Yeah.
great.
Hmm.
Cool. That's awesome.
Maybe that stuff would help Viet.
I mean,
Actually, I think what
maybe
would
if
help
we
Viet
find
is
it, we could.
working through his problems.
I mean, let's not rush things. I mean, everyone's got to do it in their own time.
Okay.
You can't rush these things.
Okay.
As we kind of like get up and get going, I would like to cast sending.
Sure, sending.
I would like to try and get a hold of Peter.
Okay.
And see if he made it to the what okay.
What
I
do
guess
you
it would-
send?
Yes.
Because you send a tweet, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Peter, this is June. Did you make it out? I'm counting on my fingers.
am I.
I make it out safely. And did you make it to the monastery? You can reply.
4 more words if it.
I don't have to use all of the words.
So
I'm just gonna kind of sit down and like
Yeah.
meditate, and that sort of swirling magic kind of
yeah, you send the send that out into the ether, and as you cast that, so mark that off that you did that, and you do not feel a connection made, which for this spell, this is all new to you still, so roll me an intelligence check.
Yeah. Let's do that. Oh, sorry. It's being weird. That's not too bad. Intelligence, you say 16.
That's not bad at all for just a raw intelligence. Yeah. This is kind of new to you still, but you've done a little bit of dabbling here and there. You feel like the person is not available to make the connection to. You have connected to people who like probably like basically as long as a person is in this world, you should be able to connect to them. You get that feeling from your magic. So the only explanation is if they are not on this world,
right,
or they are not amongst the living.
Right. Oh, man. She's just kind of gonna go, oh man. Because I don't think Peter made it.
Oh no, I probably I doubted he had the longevity to really make it all the way to the monastery with that horde that we kind of brought on with us.
I thought they'd chase us and not him.
I mean, we were kind of almost following his direction, even if it be indirect. We were going the same place. And I'll be honest, he was not 100% with it when I yelled at him. So who knows if he even got out of town before he tried hiding somewhere. It's probably fine. He probably is just sleeping really deeply.
I don't think that's how this works.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Well, I tried.
Right. Trying is the key.
I guess we just head to Beacon to War Beacon.
The beacon.
Hey, beacon away and Murder just like, yeah, heading that way. And you'll start traveling.
Yeah.
So, with advantage, I need a representative of the group to roll a survival check. Viet Quincy is good at survival. He has a +5. He has in a lot of times kind of led the group. If you'd like, you can. Just somebody else will have to do the roll because I'm not gonna do your rolls for your group. So if you want to use his +5, I just need someone to make those rolls with advantage.
Okay. Yep, I got the dice ready to rock and roll. All right. So 23.
Excellent. 23. I need someone to roll me a D12. Catherine, why don't you do that, please?
Yeah, I can do that. 5.
All right, perfect. It's hot. It's just a hot day. Hot. You travel roughly in that direction when you kind of take your breaks for you, and you can right now I'd say just kind of keep a rough track of the fact that for sure each day you travel you're using at least what it takes for that spell to make food and water. So just
if we did that at lunch, yeah, I'll mark it off for lunchtime.
Yeah, but just kind of anytime after lunch, and I'll tell you if it's into the afternoon, just know if something happens, you're going in with at least that spell down.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have to mark everything off because this is going to be day travels.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So it's hot. You keep traveling, you make your breaks, you make food, water, you every now and then do your ritual calendar to just get your course so you know how to adjust because there's not a lot of landscape here. I need another survival check, please.
Okay.
And a D12.
D12.
Survival check is 19.
D12 is 10.
10. All right. Another day.
Callan probably gets creative with prestidigitation to cool an item and wear it like around his neck or forehead or something.
Yeah.
So he's just,
Doing what he
shaking
can
off
to
the
battle the heat.
Yep.
Ironically, Murdet actually doesn't seem too uncomfortable. I mean, he is just with being a little bit more leaning towards the full half orc. He's just handling the extreme temperatures a little bit more better. But I mean, it's still hot. Everyone's hot. He's just hardier.
Absolutely not wearing that half plate armor in the desert.
I
No.
was hoping that because I was literally about to ask you of like,
Nope.
you wearing that armor?
No, I'm
Because
not.
good. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Oh.
No, that's smart. Otherwise, I
Oh.
was gonna be like, I'm also gonna need you to make constitution checks during the day. Otherwise, exhaustion for just heat. But you know what? You're being smart. You're just bagging it over the shoulder.
How about Viet? He got rid of those 2 tight pants, didn't he?
He is keeping the 2 tight pants. He is
Come
Hulk,
on.
but he has taken off the rest of his armor because Quincy is uncomfortable. It's chafy and it's hot, and so it's just a thing you got to do sometimes.
Positivity is the only pants you need.
Quiet, you're not in charge here. Be quiet.
That's amazing.
Sorry, that leaks out from time to time. He is insufferably positive.
We could use a little of that.
Oh, right. Oh, it'd be perfect. Unfortunately, he is insufferable and will make you so positively sure you want to write a suicide note. So we will discontinue. Well, Quincy's dealt with a lot of these personalities, whether Viet has or not, for a long time.
Yeah.
So roll me another one, please, both of you.
Survival is a 10
And
with advantage still, right?
Yep.
Yep, that's a 10.
and a 6 on that D12.
And a 6 with a D12. Still good. You will notice on the, what is this? This is now the 4th day.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so. 4th day, you will see just the actual hint where you can see that it's like, it's not a mirage. Just the slightest, almost like just a finger in the horizon.
So
There they are. There they are. The mountains. I told you the mountains. There they are.
Okay. I think we might be right. Looks like it's flipping me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the tallest one, ironically, it is called Bird Mountain. Write that down.
As we travel, I kind of want to be playing with, if possible, I want to be playing with the cryptics and the tuning fork. Just like kind of almost absentmindedly, just like something to do.
It'll be if that's kind of how you're treating it, it'll be just kind of every now and then you'll get the same results as before. All right, so you'll keep traveling. Roll me another, both of you.
Ten.
Okay, another 10.
And 7 on the D12.
7 on the D12. Still hot, still crappy. A little bit colder that evening. But yeah, it's just a continuation. And there hasn't even been tracks of other animals or tracks of like snakes in the sand or I mean,
No vegetation still. Okay.
you are in a crappy area.
Yeah.
So this will continue. I've got a nice average now for your rolls. This will continue for over a week of using create food and water. Thank goodness you have that spell. Otherwise, I would have drawn this out a little bit more and made real like rolls because you would have exceeded eventually your rations.
Mm.
So you keep traveling. A week goes by. Minimal conversation every now and then. Maven does drop in and she does what she can to try to like help with, like she does do, like it really, like other than it gives you a certain amount of comfort where she does like kind of like some of her like entangling spiky growths out of the ground using her magic. They are like, you're used to seeing them being very lively and plants grabbing and grasping and almost having a life of their own. Here it's almost just these long dehydrated roots that grow out and they burn very quickly, but there's almost a little bit of like a familiar fire at least that helps with morale. And she confirms like she's not seeing traces of animals and all that, but slowly over that week you do see that one little finger of like a mountain become more of a straight spire, just one solitary spire of a peak.
Okay.
And it's like think kind of this is gonna really show my lack of perfect geography. Think of, I think it's Arizona, of just those straight peaks of like just a solitary thing, except this is like a mountain by itself, but it is that size, that shape. It is one of, and if you remember from the map, it is one of the like landmarks here of like, it is a towering peak that goes up thousands of feet. It is huge. And you are seeing it from quite a distance, but still something. It is a landmark of sorts.
Okay.
That would provide some like small comfort, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's not just sand. Like, I know it's sand, but
We're
it's
not
hard
going-
sand, but it's something.
Mhm.
I think after about a week, I would probably take it a little more seriously, like sitting by the fire, maybe trying with the glass that's created, like just like seriously trying different things, like trying to get other people that like, we got to figure this out. Like this is important, right?
All right, well, let's do a nice little campfire scene then. So it's been at this point somewhere in that week and a half total of travel. You now can, even in the night with the moon above, actually see in the way distance just that shadowy shape of that mountain peak. All of you are sitting around, and Maven is currently sleeping, but she has made just like some roots and stuff that you're able to rip apart and use as kind of like a little bit of at least familiar fire.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of sitting there. Murdet is awake. So is Quincy. He's still Quincy.
There's gotta be a trick to this.
Yeah, but what could it be?
I don't know.
What else do we have?
The best results that we got were when you cracked it against the crystal, but that hurt.
Did we try it in conjunction with that black globe with the black
black
snow in
globe?
it?
I didn't see a globe.
Oh, who has the globe with the floating thing in
I
it?
think Viet had it. I think Quincy will kind of dig in his bag. He's like, "All right." He'll hold out this. It's all metal on the base, and then it's a snow globe that has like a very icy and snowy landscape, but there's a black floating island on it. And no matter which way you turn the snow globe, the island floating in the middle of the landscape is just sitting there.
Oh, city.
And he's like, "Right, this what you looking for?"
Yeah, and Cal will take it and then take the cryptex from Juniper and just kind of maybe put them together and say, here, try it now with the tuning fork. Try the tuning fork.
You get the same like when you hit it again, like try hitting it more against the cryptex, it just gives you the same boom, and if you try it again like on the snow globe, it is very much just a dull tink.
Even
No,
on
that's
the
not
like
it.
the glass of the snow
Yep.
globe?
Yep.
That's weird.
There has to be some sort of key.
Is there so
Every-
with having read up on like random things over the last year, is there anything about a city like this that I would not have recalled?
Okay. For cities and all that, roll me a history check.
Okay.
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 Okay, okay.
Okay.
And
21.
while you 21,
Yes.
21.
And then you
You'll hear as you're like 20, like you haven't read it, like you're just trying to think of like, okay, cities on an island, city, like just anything you might have just skimmed across. Around then, Quincy will be like, who would actually be really helpful right now would probably be my step cousin Orsic. He was a cartographer. He was very interested in the ruins of Alendol that we went down, because that he believed was like a crash city that was like one of those floating ones from before record of time and all that. But nothing really to prove it other than the fact of there was a city there underground, so, and it looked like a lot of destruction. Beyond that though, I can't help. Viet really doesn't know, but unfortunately most of Viet's family isn't here or isn't around anymore, so I don't know if that helps. And Juniper, you remember like just one or two things that was in some of like that cult's writings, of little things of talking of the cities of the sky before the fall in the dark times.
yeah.
Just the more of a footnote, almost like someone
Yeah.
wrote something in, but that's triggers something.
Yeah, the cities of the sky.
Wait, has
Before
Callan
all
ever
the
heard
dark
of the
times.
talk of Alan Dole in conjunction with Viet in any way?
If you have, it maybe has never made a specific connection because there might have been other things distracting, but right now probably makes a connection of like,
Right.
so what?
Wait, you said Alan Dole? What?
Oh, right. Alan Dole. You probably haven't heard of it. It's kind of southeast of Dragonlock, a couple weeks. It's ruins there, really dangerous. I highly don't recommend going too deep, because that's where you'll spend a good decade of your life if you're unlucky.
Oh no, I've been there.
Oh, fascinating.
But I don't think it was that long. No, it definitely wasn't that long.
How deep did you go? Were you in the city or did you go below it?
City.
Ruins, all that stuff. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to tell.
it was a ruined city.
Oh yeah,
And then
you go deeper, there's a full city, and then you go even deeper, and then there's all the horrible things even deeper. All the lights and everything were off, or everything, or no, on. Sorry, that's me. A lot of lights on down there, magic, or something like it. That's where Viet spent about a decade. Lost all his family. Tragic, I tell you. Well, other than his two cousins. I mean, they made it out, but I mean, his brothers, his sisters, 20 didn't make it. So it was kind of part of that whole baggage thing,
Oh,
that's why you shouldn't work with family in adventuring, right?
Yeah,
It's awful.
I agree.
Why? How were you there? Like, when were you there?
Well, before all of this weird chaos engulfed the world. Pretty much right before,
Okay.
relatively speaking. Yeah, I was there on a mission for the Scalebound Guild, and we were there to retrieve some artifacts. You know, business
As you do.
What
as
did
you do.
Did you complete this mission?
Mm-hmm.
What did you bring back to the Scalebound?
A mysterious artifact.
Does Mick not remember specifically, or are you being mysterious?
Mick does not remember it specifically enough to
It
be in
was
detail.
the very glowy
Cube.
cube
Yep.
that had, yeah. And the second you had pulled it out, it seemed like things kind of boo.
Mm. Right. So, and then the second I pulled it out, it just seemed like things went woo. Like all the lights went off.
So like a power source.
Like about maybe a little, just over maybe a year or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when all that, you know, right before all this weird stuff happened.
I'm gonna roll for him just to see if he makes all that connection. 14 plus his intelligence. What's his intelligence? That -2, 12. That's still decent. He'll take him a little bit. So Juniper, you have anything?
Like a power source?
It seemed pretty powerful. It was not friendly to the touch, you might say.
And Juniper, you can make connection from the download from Maven. That by description, that was one of the artifacts used in a ritual that might have been part of all of this.
So you brought you brought them.
Well, not willingly. We were duped into bringing it. Yes.
Holy crap! I think you
No.
freed Viet.
What?
If you, he kind of leans over to grab your hand. He's like, "Holy crap! We were down in that prison for 10 years. I think you turned off the electricity, the magic to those bars, and let us get out. I mean, we were prisoners for 10 years. Like, yeah, and we got out, and we lost a lot of people before that happened. But whether or not it did all this, he also saved our lives, or his life, or it's confusing now. You're right, that is weird.
Okay.
You're in prison in Allendale for 10 years? That's horrible. Who put you there?
Oh, we never really had a name for them. It was just more of a feeling, I guess. Very kind of a mixture between a lot of these grotesque kind of mix a bug and a monkey, you know, and make them bigger. I mean, that's kind of what they look like, except for the ones in charge. They were way more like insects. But they were like people insects, if that makes sense. And they could talk in your mind, make you see things, make you feel like you're on fire, even though there was no fire.
Callan remembers like bug monkey creatures. Does this resonate with Callan, what he's
Oh
describing?
yeah.
Okay,
not the
yes.
maybe the leader ones, but the other flavors you remember.
Okay, yeah, I think I met them.
Oh yeah. Oh, lucky you got away. They're horrible. Most of them aren't mindless and all that, but they're controlled by the mind whisperers. They're the ones who they get in there and they burrow real deep.
Wait,
That's
did this have anything to do with dragon gods or anything?
No. I mean, all of that seemed a little. Yeah, we prayed to the dragon gods, save us, please help us, rescue us, all of that. 10 years, it's a long time to wait, but I guess, they reveal themselves in funny ways. But no,
Dragon gods
they
don't care about you.
right. Yeah, no, we're I'm aware. Viet, I'm not sure where he's come down on the whole thing. I get it though. They're bad. We saw enough that the gods obviously shouldn't be a thing if they allow creatures like that. I mean, they tortured you mentally, they made you see things, they wanted to learn about your whole past, and then they made them change in horrible ways, and then also let us go and hunted us down to see how capable we were to fight back. I mean, that's how I lost all my cousins. And
That's terrible. That's horrible. So what you're telling me is that your prayers went unanswered all that time until I came along.
I mean, you don't have to sell it on that thick, but yeah, basically.
See, some good did come out of this, Juniper.
You want to elaborate on that?
Well, Viet's here today because we powered down his prison.
Yeah. So what happened to the power source after the ritual?
Does Callan know?
You were not present.
Sadly, I was not present for reasons.
But from the download that Maven had gave, you'll know that he had taken all of the items that were part of the ritual with. And then kind of in this weird, like a shadow wrapping up around him, and then flew off.
The shadow of the dragon. I saw him. He's still in Dragonlock. He's in charge of it all, isn't he?
He caused some serious mess, that's for sure. But even if he's somehow like crowned himself a new dragon god, he's just one of many.
It's a false god anyway.
So I don't know. What else can we try with this? It may just be a matter of
Callan, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
And I want to give you advantage only for the fact that you guys are kind of hitting a wall, but you have other things at your disposal that you may not actively be using, but you've done things. So I'm going to see if maybe I can give you a little push. So roll me an Arcana with advantage.
With advantage, that was a nat 20 for a 26. Thank you, Catherine, for the dice.
All right. Unfortunately, you needed to do the opposite side of the spectrum to have success.
Okay.
As you guys are kind of talking and all that, and you've kind of gone off subject, on subject, and just revisiting all these different things. You hit that ritual and the things needed with it, and it starts making you rethink about how like normal spell casting has worked, like that about, and even you, Juniper, as well, of like just the normal things you do for it. And it really starts to make you go back, Callan, and just the back of your head's just rolling and rolling and rolling. And it makes you think of Nima.
Okay.
And you start to like, what, there's something about this that is just like that tip of your tongue thing, you know, and you start to flip through and you hit a part that is still not fully like, I don't know if you want to call it it's like everything's been transcribed, but it doesn't 100% make sense all the time. But there's one ingredient in there that with it says tuning fork, familiar to plane, go, like destinational plane. And as you kind of think on that and look at the spell and look at some of the other pieces to it, it's a very powerful outside of your kind of understanding, but you start to put together the most basic idea of like a planes shift type spell of like that a tuning fork is required to be able to go to another plane of existence. And that idea is mind blowing. But at the same time, with everything you've heard and done and all that, it's kind of like, yeah, it makes sense, you know? But tuning fork is a very important one for kind of giving a direction to where. And that's from Nima's book, where it's like, it doesn't make sense because you're not at that point where you could possibly do that. It's outside that understanding, but you're on the very edge of like concepts of like, okay.
Okay, well, I will share this insight as well as I can.
Okay.
And maybe get a little, off tracking, like, it's like ripples on water. They have this wave form, and if they bounce off each other, they meet together and they make different forms, and then they'll kind of sometimes make each other more powerful, and they have different wave like shapes and stuff. And that's kind of how like the different parts of the universe will work. And then you have to, if you want to get attuned to those different parts of the universe, you have to tune yourself to those different parts of the universe. So thus a tuning fork needs to be tuned to this different part, yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Oh wow.
So maybe we can't use it yet.
I don't know how to make it do that.
I mean, does it say in that book?
It does, but I can't do that. It's like I can read it and I can understand it and I can see it, but it just doesn't come together for me. It's like there's another part to the language of this spell book that is just, it's dependent on time and circumstance.
And
It's like being really good at math but never seen calculus before, you know?
Yeah, experience. You're not there yet.
Experience, that's the word I was looking for. So we have the tool, we just have to figure out the other parts. I don't think we have what we need right now.
I think you're right.
Hey, we're I mean, you're talking rituals, you're talking all kinds of things. Just from my own horrible recollection, because that was kind of filed into trauma. Those vials, those seem awfully powerful. I'm just saying, were those like ingredients that were supposed to be used in like, well, no, they said drink me. No,
They
never
said to
mind.
drink 'em.
In the right time, or was it a
She
The
just
ones we
said
drank?
at some point.
what was that?
Talk about
I
the-
was just, yeah, I was just told I should probably drink that at some point.
Oh, so nothing specific.
I'm sure to her it meant something specific.
Oh, the dancing woman, right? lovely lad. I tell you. But yeah, no, she wasn't was like not specific. So all right. And then Murdoch's just gonna kind of like cut in as Quincy's kind of rambling a little bit, and Murdoch's like, all right. So you've got a tuning fork that might make you need like it gives you a direction. And he just in the sand literally draws a tuning fork and then just makes a circle with a D on it. Like he's like, that's where you're going. And he draws a line away from that, from the tuning fork. And he draws another circle. He's like, and writes an R in it. He's like, and that's your ritual. Apparently that does a thing, which the fork helps guide it. Right?
I guess.
So what's your like you've used things for your rituals, Callan. I've seen you do it. Like like what's inside the ritual? And it like and I get what?
Like the ingredients?
Right. Or yeah, whatever you use. But the thing is like, okay, that spell you said is outside your realm. And she gave you all the things that you need. Like I assume she gave you things to get you there, right? Or that you don't know you to have, but like she's I've gathered like always steered things in the direction, right?
Right. Well, and I kind of get the gist that there's some sort of special circle involved. I could make a circle, but it's not this circle that it's mentioning. I don't know. I don't have the means to do that.
Well,
so
my only thought is because I guess I'm new to this level of like hidden crazy. Like I like a little bit of chaos and all that. Like who doesn't, But like doesn't she seems like she's given in the past from what you've said with all like, and he points towards Maven who's sleeping, like she's always done things that you needed even if you didn't know you needed them.
yes.
So I'm like, I'm new to this, call me stupid, but you probably have what you already need.
Colin, you could just try.
Okay.
Maybe the only thing blocking you is you.
And he just taps the side of your head. He's like, stop being stupid.
Oh, I thought you meant it was mine.
No, to Callan, Murder.
Somebody chimes in. Yes, the doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Give it a shot.
Seriously, I am having an adult conversation here.
Okay. So, well, honestly, I don't understand this stuff, and it's a little terrifying to me. Will you just don't leave me? Okay.
I ain't going anywhere.
Looking at Murdet especially.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't going anywhere.
And he calls Murdet Koopa leg accidentally. I mean Murdet.
I rolled really high. He'll like have just a weird kind of, I think I remember that was me.
Yep. Yeah, that's your name that I remember. Koopa leg. Do you remember what it means?
And because Scott doesn't have that up, I rolled really high for him. Does Mick know? Because I don't have those notes up right now. I have so many other things.
Mick knows, and Callan might not want to say it, but if Murdoch
I rolled
rolled
super
high,
high for that
okay,
intelligence check for him to all of a sudden.
it,
So
it's it means goblin rags.
Goblin rag. He just kind of like almost like there's a bad taste in his mouth, like rags or goblin rag. Like he's like,
That's it.
I don't remember why. Why? Because that's
A little bit disheveled as a toddler. That's and no matter how hard people try to clean you up, it's kind of a
I got it. And he kind of like reaches the side of it, and he and like, you know what? Even though we've never said it, he has kind of like car doors for ears, and he's just like, okay, we'll revisit this.
okay. All right, so Callan will immerse himself in the book. Oop, wrong book. I mean, Nima's spell book. And but you know that book though, it's horrible, but it's
There's
at the
something
same
about
time,
it.
it's
I think
it's
there's
so
a spell on it
lyrically
to compel
horrible.
you. Yeah, I think there's a spell on it to compel you to read it.
Maybe this book is the key.
Quincy's just
God,
gonna
I
be
hope
like,
not.
hey, all right, there's enough distraction. I'm the only one here who's actually qualified to deal with trauma, so I think I'll hang on to it for a little bit.
Just
Okay.
watch out for page 52.
Yeah.
Right. 52, skimming ahead.
Wait, what?
I mean, nothing. Trauma. I'm on the lockdown.
Oh, okay. Here I go.
So what are you describe to
What
me
do
what
you
you're
need
trying
from
to
us?
do?
Yeah.
Okay,
What do you-
so I got that spark from thinking about Nima's spell book and her lessons and such, and what I learned with the help of Queen Sorva to recover some of her spells. As so I am like diving deep into that, both meditating and if I have any remnant of it, reading it.
Yeah, she made a whole copy of the book that
Yeah.
she could get.
Yep. So I'm doing that and examining that as intently as I can, because I feel confident that within, you know, the pages outlining the one spell that includes the tuning fork, there has to be an answer. So I don't know, insight or however.
Lay out the ritual that you're doing, because Nima's rituals are unorthodox compared to normal rituals.
Oh, yes.
So I want you to tell me what you are doing to try to use whatever, like get creative. Use the ritual you're going to lay out as intent.
Okay. Right. I would then I would be thinking back to what I remember from Nima and how
A lot of them had like actual some sort of, whether it be symbolism, items, things like that, had to do with like the senses.
Okay. That's a hard one. We want the clues that Sealy gave us.
Okay.
Do we have anything that's like specifically says about a boat or?
Nope, you do not. The only thing you knew that was part of the boat part was the crystal, because that is like a key or something. She said, don't look it in too much because yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
As he's meditating, can I give him like guidance?
Sure, absolutely.
Guidance.
Guidance. What do you say to guide him?
Gosh. You're trying to pull this sage wisdom out of me, and I just don't.
You don't have to be sagely or whatever. Can you?
She'll just kind of gently lay a hand on his shoulder and go, "You can do this."
And Murdoch will put his on the other shoulder and just whisper right with that same tone and be like, we're here. We're not going anywhere.
Okay, so Callan etches out a circle, turns it into a sundial with a stick. And to Callan, that represents Sealy Grizzle, because she's kind of fragmented in time. On one part of the sundial, Callan puts a little divot, fills it with water, and maybe places a little paper boat in it, meditating on what Silly said about our objective. And he also prestidigitates the smell of their last supper together.
Cool.
And he then he occupies the circle with the tuning fork and kind of emulates the dance that they shared at the end together, pantomiming that she's dancing with him, and uses that as to get more deeper into the meditation or trance state.
I love it. All right. Roll me. Let's do an Arcana check first.
Mhm.
And definitely with advantage. And with a
And you're
D4
gonna-
for
yeah.
guidance.
Okay. Okay. So that totals 28. Thanks,
Ooh.
Catherine.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay. Gotta bring that up.
We're
No,
making
well,
him flip
hey,
through
I've
the
had it
notes.
here, but I didn't know whenever we get there, and I gave you a little nudge, and you got there very quick after that. Roll me a percentile there, Callan.
Okay. $86.
6. All right. You have 3 column control points. Okay. Where you can basically give me a little bit of like direction or command as this kind of goes off and everything slows down. The fire just off to the side starts to like change color for you. No, Juniper, not for you, not for Quincy, not for anyone else, just for you. And you start to almost feel like you hear that chanting of the hoon in the fire. Come and sit by my fire. Come and sit by my fire. And just over and over. You almost like it's in the air almost. And then you're going to feel just through the ground where the tuning fork is, like it's starting to vibrate. And off next to, or almost perfectly between you, whether it was set up by design or whether the actual, through that vibration, the entire ritual circle and that sundial has turned. And so you are directly facing the fire. The tuning fork is there directly pointing towards the fire. Between you and the fire, the snow globe is sitting in the sand. And suddenly you feel a rush of Arctic wind as you are flying towards it and falling into it. You can see the landscape around is covered in snow and ice. There are creatures with leathery bat wings in the sky. There are fires still in the cracks of the earth where the ice goes down deep, and you can see fire roiling deep below. You zoom across the landscape, and there in the landscape, all of a sudden you start to see this black obsidian island coming closer as you fly towards it. Then you'll start to hear a voice, a familiar voice, that of your patron. Knight, what are you doing? This is not for you to see or to traverse. Turn back now for your own well-being. And you can start to feel like there's a little bit of resistance trying to pull you back a little bit.
Okay. The connection's a little spotty. I couldn't hear you. It's you're breaking up.
Enough of your antics. You will go insane if you persist. You are no use to me if you are a jabbering pile of meat. You're like you can feel you're slowing down even more, like just the wind is having more friction against you as the ice starts to really, like, you can feel it almost like building up like on a ship, like slowing you down, making you heavy.
Okay. Well, Callan wouldn't think this out loud, but it kind of solves one dilemma.
You jest, but you have much glorious purpose if you just listen to the words of wiser people. Come back. I will help you. I will guide you to where you need to be. And you start to feel just a little bit of drag pulling you back.
Oh, come on, baby. You had to know that I would never bite on that one. Yeah.
And pushing forward with one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
Totally.
And yeah, and all of a
Wise
sudden,
council of wiser people.
yeah.
Who do you think you're talking to? Come on.
And you can hear just this as all of a sudden you burst out of the ice and shoot like a bullet, going closer and closer to this black island. And as you get closer to it, you can see these obsidian structures. Almost think of like a modern day city flying with built of obsidian, and you can see lights coming up closer, and there's an aura of magic surrounding it, and you come closer and closer, and all of a sudden you can start to see the shapes as you're zooming past all these people throughout this city landscape, and you start to climb up, zooming straight up next to one of the tallest of these buildings, and you land on a balcony made of obsidian, and you see a figure in a like further inside a large throne room, and you see this giant obsidian throne and a figure in a hood and mask sitting on it. Shadows from the torchlight all through here, and almost like the entire room is moving. And as you look into the room, as I said, shadows sweeping across from the flickering light, you feel a pressure against you and another voice creep into your head. Seriously, Colin, if you come here, I am not responsible for the things that happen. I highly recommend you stay far away. One friend to another. And that sounding different, sounding a little bit more edge to the tone to it. reminds you of Slate.
Yeah.
And you feel like almost like the shadows and the wind behind you, like pushing you back. Callan,
Wait, no.
it's not for you to see, not for you to be here. I can't tell you not to go, but I can warn you, to go would only invite disaster.
But this is where I need to be.
You're right. It is where you need to be, but it's not where you're ever wanting to be. I cannot protect you if you ever come here.
Okay, I understand. But understand, I can't count many days where I've been where I've wanted to be. So I'm good.
And you just hear not a sigh of frustration, but more of defeat. And all of a sudden you push into the throne room and the lights brighten, the torchlight. There's large fireplaces, but there is one shadow that is not moving. It is one shadow that has a motion of its own, and currently it's still and not conducive to the direction of light. And it is that of a large dragon, wings across the roof of this room. And standing at the top of this stairs up to a throne room, you see this figure who, through his hood, you see these horns coming out, and you see black skin, and points, "You are in the wrong place. Move on." And you suddenly feel like this entire room is about to close in around you. And then you feel that tuning fork again. You feel it vibrating. As the room, the shadows start to come across, you can start to feel almost claustrophobic as something is pushing and grabbing and squeezing at you. But the tuning fork is just vibrating.
Is it like vibrating differently than before?
Yeah. I mean,
anything
this
unique
is like, feels like it is charged, ready, and just waiting for a trigger to be pulled.
Well, I have to press buttons to find out how things work, so I want to pull that trigger.
All right. So you just kind of pull the proverbial trigger and will it to just go ahead. And suddenly it brightens up and all the shadow is pushed back, and you hear the screech of horrible creature getting driven back by the light. And you can see right in front of you, there's this ship floating on the balcony, and it pulls you to it. You get dragged all the way onto the ship, and the wheel of the helm just starts to spin, and all of a sudden a rip in the air opens, and you can see yourself sitting by a fire, friends, hands on your shoulder, and you land back in your body. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. So I hope everyone enjoyed this. I know I did. I've had some of this waiting for quite some time. So I'm so happy I got to do that. I hope everybody's had fun. Have a great week. Next week, I believe we're doing our off episode, or it potentially could be a spooky Halloween episode. Either way, stay tuned. It'll be either this, it'll be that, or it'll be spooky. Either way, it'll be great. So until next week, I am DM Scott.
All right. I am Mick.
Oh.
Mick playing Callan.
And Catherine playing Juniper.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Down with Dragons.
Thanks for
7 p.m.
watching.
Central.
Central.
Bye, everyone.